Monthly forecast for the sign of Aquarius. For those of you, oh, I forgot. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very, very much. I'm sorry I didn't get to the air signs yesterday. I was supposed to, and I got sidetracked and sort of busy with some other things. But we're getting to them today. So we're going to kick off with Aquarius, which is my moon, quite frankly. So if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign of Aquarius, you may want to watch this because it might give you some insight into what you may be experiencing in the month of November. If this makes sense, great. Take it, run with it, use it, channel it, do whatever you need to do with it. If it doesn't make sense, don't worry. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. You just might be working on something different. Okay? Hey, Demita, great. I'm glad that you're in Aquarius and you're tuning in. I'm glad, and thank you for your patience. In a moment when I start the reading, I won't be paying attention to the chat, so don't think that I'm ignoring you guys. I'm just sort of trying to focus on the cards. So let me get back to what my whole spiel. So this is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If there's an Aquarius you're sweet upon, or you're not an Aquarius but you are close to an Aquarius, you're more than welcome to watch for them on their behalf. You can share this video out with your Aquarian friends. You can comment on the video, share the video, like my business page, subscribe to my YouTube channel, do all that good stuff if you enjoy the content. I'd greatly appreciate the support. And for this month, I've been doing, since 2020, I've been kind of feeling like, since we're going through sort of unprecedented times, that I've been doing a singular, what I kind of call the Sherpa card, like the guide card for the month. It gives us a little insight into maybe potentially what we'll be experiencing, or what, it could be the theme for the month for the Aquarians. But this card is going to be coming from the James Van Prague's Talking to Heaven mediumship cards. And the reason why I chose this one, I chose a sort of spiritually centered deck for everybody for the month of November. I don't know why, but that was the kind of selection that I went with, the other side sort of presence. And the veil is most thin, especially during Halloween, so that makes sense. But also, I like that this is talking to heaven, heaven being in the sky, and my air element signs being part of the air, right? The sky and the air. So I felt like this was appropriate for you guys. So let's see what the message is from these Talking to Heaven cards for my Aquarians this month. Oops. Throwing cards around. These cards are new, so they're sliding all around. Okay. Ooh. I have a new understanding. So, when I look at this, what I like about this is, even though we have these clouds and things here, this kind of reminds me of like sort of the world, right? It looks kind of like the globe or the earth in a weird way. And there's a ripple effect that's rippling out towards the light. Do you see that? And the clouds are kind of parting away. So what this speaks to me is, in regards to Aquarius, or what this is invoking in me, is that our world may be changing. There might be ripples happening in our world, but as we sort of adapt and adjust to those changes, our understanding will shift, right? And the way we see things will shift probably in the month of November. I think that it's for the benefit, although these ripples do appear to be, for some of you, it could present as maybe a struggle or a change that we might want to initially fight against or not want to release, that sort of a thing. But as we get further into the month, I feel like this light here indicates that we will ease into this, and this new understanding will give us a greater perspective, a better feeling of where we fit in maybe our world or how we fit to our world. And then this ripple will sort of subside. But the ripple to me makes me feel like the planet is sort of changing for the Aquarians, or how we see the planet, how we fit into our world. So those changes should be embraced, even if they're challenging slightly, because that's kind of the ripple too, is I feel that for some of you, there may be some things where you're like, oh wait, I didn't want to lose this. But it's time, kind of thing. I don't think that it's a major bad thing. I don't get a real bad vibe from this. I just sort of think that, there might be some things where you're like, oh shit, I wanted to keep hold of that. But nope, it's time for a new understanding, Aquarian. So let it go. Let it shift and change. All right, so let's see. What do my Aquarian, Sun, Moon, and Rising need to know for the month of November 2020? Now, this first card is sort of where you guys are centered at during the month. It's not where you'll be at the entire month, but you'll kind of be going in and out of this card. This card gives me a little insight into not only where you're kind of centered at, but also what you could be potentially creating for the future. Ooh, I love this. I actually think this is Aquarian energy. It's the Magician, card number 1 of the Major Arcana. Let me double check that. I believe it is Aquarian energy. Let me just make sure. I should have this all on a cheat sheet, but I'm pretty sure it is. Let me just double check. I know that the Fool is, and I think the Magician is also astrological association. It's ruled by Mercury, which is also air anyways, is what it's saying here. I believe it's also Aquarian energy too. I've read that somewhere. So I love that this is your guys' center. This is empowered for the Aquarians. And actually, because I have an Aquarius moon, I'm gonna like run with this reading too. This means that probably something good for me on my shadow side is gonna happen for me this month. I like that the Magician is all about creative energy, that sort of access to all of the 4 elements. We have the cup, the wand, the pentacle, and the sword, right? He has everything he needs to create whatever it is that he wants. So what I like about this is the creative aspect of the Magician, the empowered aspect of the Magician, the beginnings, the new beginnings, bring about this new understanding, right? This new understanding also sort of allows us to create with all of these elements, right? Taking our environment and how we relate to our environment and sort of maybe stepping forward into something completely and totally new, totally creative, moving towards something that we really truly desire. That is sort of the feeling that I get from this card coupled with this card. I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys are picking up on that. The Magician is always sort of, it can have a little bit of a sort of egoic effect to me sometimes. I sometimes think on the darker side of the Magician, we want to be careful that we're not getting too sort of full of ourselves or being too showy, but I don't feel that with this. I feel like for most of my Aquarians, this is about getting creative and doing exactly what it is we want, fixating or focusing ourselves onto a goal and really productively channeling that magic or that energy, that attention into that goal, and quite successfully pulling something off with that goal in this month. So let's look at the next card. The next card is the Foundation card. This tells me a bit about sort of the past and what was going on in the past that opened the door for everything to be the way that it is this month. It also is sometimes the memory of this card that is kind of driving or holding everything in place. So let's look at that. So this is the Four of Cups. This can sometimes be about indecision. It's definitely emotional, it being the element of cups. Fours usually offer stability, right, in that sense. The traditional design is a man usually sitting in front of a tree and he's kind of trying to, make a choice, and there's that cup floating in the air and it's just saying like, take me kind of thing, just it's okay. And that's sort of the indecision that I look at with the Four of Cups. When I look at this, I feel like my Aquarians probably have done some emotional work in the past leading up and trying to get things into balance emotionally, feeling more in control. Hence why we have this Magician in the present time now, is so that we are now in this place of, and also this Four of Cups, I like that it is sort of the driving force because it feels like there is an emotional clarity. There might have been a struggle or some indecision, some unclear times in the future, but we worked through them, right? Through this Four of Cups energy. And we kind of brought this balance about. And this balance is kind of what's keeping us in this Magician energy in the present moment, where we're able to be creative, where we're able to explore new ideas, where we're able to feel empowered by not only how we feel, but the work that we've done in the past leading up to this moment, so that we can start to move forward in a real, like the Magician doesn't wait for anybody, right? He's just kind of doing his own thing. He's not waiting for any social cues or cues from the environment saying, here, you need this first before you can have that. It's like, no, I'm the Magician. I'm going to make that happen for me, right? With this Four of Cups in the Foundation, it speaks to this idea that there might have been indecision in the past where you weren't emotionally sure about what you wanted or how you wanted it. Now that sort of emotional, maybe unsureness or whatever has cleared away. We've come to terms with it around whatever the situation may be, and we now have a really sort of secure foundation emotionally to sort of move forward into this magician energy and really channel who we are and what we want in the month of November. So the next card is the Spirit or Soul card. This tells me a bit about where your spirit or soul is at during the month of November. Wow. All right, we have the Three of Cups. This was in somebody else's spirit space, I feel like. To me, this is all about celebration. Again, we have Cups energy, which is that water. That doesn't necessarily bother me because Aquarians are the water bearers, so to speak, although this is not necessarily your complementary element. I feel like this is a really lovely higher self energy to have. It's all about appreciating sort of what you have, coming back together with what you've missed, maybe reunions, parties, things like that. This being more in the higher self space or the soul space speaks to the idea of take November to really enjoy anything and everything you have access to, right? And that can be ourselves, that can be other people. Generally, the Three of Cups is about celebration and coming together. With COVID, we may not necessarily be able to do that, but we might be able to do that in different ways via Zoom or over the phone. But I think that the Aquarians are going to have a really huge opportunity if you take that up. Does that make sense? Like, in essence, if your spirit is saying, you know, embrace this Three of Cups energy, embrace those that you love around you, come into celebration with the things that you have versus you know, focusing on the things that you don't, it also perpetuates the creativity that we see in this Magician card, right? This Magician card is Major Arcana sitting in the center, so it means that we're centered in the month of November in a very good, positive, creative way. So our higher self wants us to channel those good, positive, celebratory emotions of the Three of Cups into everything that we do, based off of the stability of this Four of Cups, of having come through whatever upheaval, indecision, whatever in the past, made clear and gotten that stabilized. Now we get to move forward into creation and enjoy that creation through the celebration of, you know, the things we love around us, the things we love to do, the people we love. Even if we can't necessarily be with them, we can sort of certainly look to them fondly and channel the emotions of that. Those emotions coming from the higher self also bring and empower the magician to better create, right? That's sort of also a driving force that can really be utilized and make magic and also create this sort of new understandings that we see here, right? We can also look at this sort of cloud structure here as if this is the magician in the center and this ripple is coming out from all of us. This ripple may challenge the environment or the people around us in a way, but that challenge doesn't necessarily have to be negative. It can be sort of, you know, changes and shifts may take place, but they could be for the positive, especially with that magician in the center. All right, so let's look. Everything could be emanating from us this month, right? Especially with these emotions at the bottom and at the top. It's sort of like these things are kind of what we've been through and what's coming towards us, but at an emotional level. So it's really kind of what the magician is exuding out. So the next two cards are what I call the oh my god, the outside influences. Sorry, I was drawing a blank. They can be people, sometimes events, sometimes things more vague like belief systems or energies that are having an effect on us during this time, during the month, either positively or negatively, so we just need to be aware of them. Okay, so what is the Two of Cups? Well, hey, we don't have enough cups, Aquarius. Let's get some more in here. The Two of Cups can be burgeoning love. This could be a deepening of appreciation with ourselves or with others. For some of you, this very well may be a romantic connection happening or transpiring in the month of November. I think that it's something that you guys would be working towards or aware of. If you are aware of it, I feel like the Two of Cups would be it coming towards you. Especially with that Magician card in the center, it speaks to this idea of already knowing what we want and going after it a little bit. Using our magic to help create it. And from that celebratory energy from the higher self, we're putting out that vibe of positivity. We're also putting out that sort of clarity of no more indecision from that Four of Cups, which also brings in this idea of clearer, better, more defined, loving relationships. Now, for those of you that are already in romantic relationships, this could be better defined in loving relationships amongst friends, co-workers, families, however that works for you, right? But to me, the Two of Cups is always this idea of this sort of bonded love For some of you, it very well may be romantic, and that's perfectly fine. If you have an Aquarian Venus, you may want to watch this. But for those of you that are like, wait, I'm already involved and I'm not looking for new love, this could be the idea of deepening the relationships that we have with those around us. And through that celebratory energy of the Three of Cups and the higher self, of course, that would produce these opportunities for us to sort of further deepen those connections to people outside of us, right? So let's look at the other, and again, we have this beautiful new understanding, maybe of those around us that we care about, or maybe those that we, maybe they used to get on our nerves, and now we understand and appreciate them at a deeper, better level, right? So the other card on the outside influence is the Queen of Wands. So she is fire, which is complementary to the Magician card in the center there, which is air, right? And to the Aquarius air element. I love that the Queen of Wands shows up. She's looking directly at this Magician. He's kind of entertaining these two ladies, and then this one's over here looking from the sidelines. The Queen of Wands can represent a fire sign, possibly Aries, Leo, or Sag. Doesn't necessarily have to be a fire sign, but it can be, and usually a woman, but it doesn't have to be a woman. It can be any sort of person of, that might be interested in us or that we may be interested in. And the only reason why I say that is because that Two of Cups is on the opposite side as an outside influence. To me, the Queen of Wands is a passionate, action-oriented, sort of fairly assertive woman. She's not going to take sort of no for an answer. This could be an assertive male. This could be a suitor that comes in kind of hot. They will be sort of more nurturing than, say, like a knight or a king, because it is the queen and it's that cups energy. But again, queens represent cups, right? And so we have all of this cups energy around us. Is this going to be an emotional month for the Aquarians? Yes, but I kind of feel like in a good way, right? I feel like, don't be surprised if somebody comes in hot this month. And I think that my Aquarians are totally ready to receive this, because this Magician is like, they know their worth, right? That's sort of the egocentricness of the Magician that can kind of get out of hand if we're not careful. But I don't feel that. I feel like this is Aquarians sort of appreciating themselves. Also, that's their appreciation and celebration that we see in that Three of Cups. It's like we understand our worth and we're ready to sort of share that with somebody else or with the outside environment. And so I feel like with the Queen of Wands, we have that fiery assertiveness and passion and directness, but we also have that cups nature of the Queen. So this could be, situations, it may not be a specific person, but it could be situations like maybe our work situation that starts to begin to appreciate us or give us promotion or something of that nature when we meet the needs there, and they start to see the value in us. I'm not trying to make it completely romantic, although it does definitely feel like this could be romance for some of my Aquarians. For some of you that want to attribute it to more practical things, I would be on the lookout for situations where through these situations you gain a better perspective, a better love, a better desire, or those situations, the people within them, they can get a better connection to you, a better understanding of who you are, and you're really on point with that Magician in the center, showing off your skill set this month, right? That new understanding that we see here might be our new understanding of ourselves and what we're capable of. It might be a new understanding that others have about us as they see our capabilities, as we exude them through that Magician, right? As we put them forth. And then the opportunity to embrace all of that and celebrate all of that is certainly coming from our higher self. So channel that this month, Aquarians. This is a really good month for you, is my feeling. And I think that for those of you that are single, this could be the month where somebody begins to take notice if they haven't already. Because I feel like that Queen of Wands definitely has her eye out. So like I said, it doesn't have to be a female. It can be a very nurturing male, passionate male that's interested in you. They're certainly watching you is kind of the feeling that I get from this Queen of Wands card. Now, this last card is what I call the potential outcomes. This card tells me a bit about sort of where things may end up for the Aquarians at the end of the month, barring that nothing major changes. So it's not set in stone by any means. We can always make changes and choices in our life due to free will. So looking at this card, if it's something negative, we can use this as a warning and make those choices and changes. But if it is a beneficial card or a good card, we can sort of take heart in the fact that we're naturally heading towards it this month. So let's see what's going on. Oh shit. Hello, Ace of Pentacles. So, aces are always about new beginnings or like sort of next chapter kind of thing. They can be unseen sort of opportunities that sort of sprout up or happen at the end of the month. This will be towards the end of the month, right? This is the outcome of the month. To me, the Ace of Pentacles is a very grounded card as far as the aces are concerned, because Pentacles is that earth energy. Again, I don't want to make this all about romance, but I really feel like for some of you guys, this Ace of Pentacles represents the actual materialization of some sort of romance. There could be somebody in the background for some of you. This Queen of Wands, I feel like she almost might be hovering in the background and has been for a while. This Ace of Pentacles might be her, because she's seated here and this woman is seated here. They look sort of similar to me, so it's giving me this idea or this message that for some of you, there is somebody in the background that has been watching you maybe for a while leading up to these months, and now towards the end of this month may actually step forward in a very tangible, real, palpable way and confess something to you that opens up this new opportunity, right? The new opportunity could be around love, right? And a very grounded, strong, realistic, possible opportunity in that regard. For some of you, this could be an opportunity around business too, right? This Queen of Wands could be, say, a somebody that's eyeing you for some sort of business dealing that they have, where they step forward because you're channeling this magician energy and you're looking so capable, Aquarian, during the month of November. You're able to sort of bring about this desire in them that they want to invite you into, say, maybe a really solid, opportunistic, and I mean opportunistic in a good way, like an opportune business deal, right? That is beginning to kick off at the end of November. For each one of you, it's going to be slightly different, right? If some of you, it might be business ventures, some of you, it might be new love, some of you, it might be, new opportunities for love that's pre-existed. But all of this with the Queen of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the outcome of the Ace of Pentacles, we have whatever we're moving towards. It's by month's end, it's very palpable, real, probable, tangible. These are all really good words for that Ace of Pentacles, right? It's going to be new, maybe unforeseen, or something that you didn't see coming, but think outside of the box and allow yourself to kind of be embraced into this new chapter. And I feel like it's all coming because we have this beautiful magician card in the center, the only major arcana that you guys have. This Ace of Pentacles too, the newness that I keep speaking to, we have this I have a new understanding, right? There's a newness to the aces where it's like something we didn't see, a new chapter, an opportunity we didn't necessarily know existed that comes to us, that on some level, when I look at these cards, my Aquarians have created through that magician energy and maybe not even realized it, right? So by month's end, be on the lookout for new opportunities, be it romantic, business, whatever. They're there, they're real, and they're very, I want to say, because Pentacles energy is so materially based, they're grounded, it's real. Like, go for it, take it. And see where it carries you into December, because these are the ripples that we see going out, right? These are the changes that are coming out from the center, which is this magician. I want to say, for those of you that aren't aware, if I have some pessimistic Aquarians out there that are like, you know what, my life is shit right now. It's not. I think that what's going on here is we need to realize that magician is our center this month. Anything we focus on, anything we channel is what we're going to create more of. So keeping that in mind and utilizing that for positive reasons versus negative. And that's also this Three of Cups up in the higher self space. That's why your higher self wants you celebrating and feeling those emotions, feeling that love, and bringing that love in. This month is the month to do that, right? Because there's doors opening, new understandings opening, and opportunities opening and becoming available to us by month's end from all of this that we're channeling during the month. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, you guys. I know it's a little bit kind of vague, but you have to figure out where this fits in your life. I love that the magician is sitting there in the center, right? You couldn't ask for a better card, I feel like. And then all of the things that are coming in are sort of beneficial too. The Two of Cups, the Queen of Wands, it's all kind of go-getter, passionate, working in your favor energy, bringing about that Ace of Pentacles at month's end. So be open to new opportunities. Go for the one that feels the most sort of, you know, stable, grounded, all of that. But it will be there. It will be, and it will be new. It'll be kind of something that maybe you didn't even see coming. So I hope that brings you guys hope. Please leave me a like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel so inclined. And I will see you guys next month. And then beyond next month, we'll be doing the yearlies for all the signs too. It's going to be a big month next year. I mean, big month next month. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Have a great day. I will be back in a moment to do Gemini and then Libra. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.